Welcome back to Regular Guys Outdoors. I'm Chris. It's a brisk cold day here in Colorado, and today we're going to review the Indian Creek Black Diamond Strike Turkey Chokes. I got one in 20 gauge. This is the Winchester SXP, so that has the Invector Plus chokes. I have a Browning A5 Light 12 that is also Invector Plus 12 gauge. But in this, we're going to be relegated to 2 3/4 inch shells because that's what this is for, 2 3/4 inch. It's not a 3-inch chamber. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the premium loads with this at 40 yards, the 20 gauge. And then I think with the cheaper stuff, and especially the lead stuff, we're going to bring it into about 37. Normally I'd test a 20 gauge load at 35, but if you're spending the money on an Indian Creek, I'm assuming you want to get a few more yards out of it. Now for the 12 gauge, I think I'm going to do everything at 40 yards because, again, even though it's a 2 3/4 inch gun and I'm shooting 2 3/4 inch shells, I think if you're trying to spend the money on this type of a choke, you're wanting to get 40 yards even though it's 2 3/4. 2 3/4 payloads are typically 1.5 ounces, sometimes 1 5/8 ounces, sometimes a little less. So they're not that many more pellets in this than a 3-inch 20. So let's get to testing. Starting with the Hornady load, I don't have high expectations here, which is a shame because I do really like their rifle ammo. Remington Nitro's up next, and the box no longer looks like this. They've updated their packaging. They've also updated their packaging on the Remington Premier Magnum as well. So it no longer looks like that either. Now these lead loads did not shoot very well, and I believe it's because the 5.55 choke is extremely tight. The wads I was finding downrange were really chewed up. Now the wads on the Federal Grand Slam and the Browning BXD are very thick by comparison. Moving out to 40 yards, Magnum Blend did okay. The Longbeard here doesn't shoot it very well, and I'm going to shoot it at 45 yards and it's going to shoot about the same, which is kind of odd. That pattern's just a little low right, but thick. This is the old discontinued Federal Heavyweight, number 6. Just off to the right side, real nice. A lot of pellets in a number 7 heavy shot. Pushing it back, the Browning, I think we know this is going to be pretty good. Not bad. I think that's a little low. I think at this distance you're starting to get maybe a little bit of drop on those pellets. The Browning overall did tend to shoot low. In slow-mo, watch the wad come in, dings the target and breaks the paper. 45 yards, the wad hit the paper. Now, most of that pattern was actually to the right, so it's probably a pretty good pattern. You see, that's not too shabby at 45 yards. It's too far, but not too bad. Now here's that Grand Slam and the Browning I was talking about. This was from a previous test. Awesome pattern. That is ridiculous. It's centered just right of the turkey's head. The BXD, which I do believe uses a variation of the old Federal Flight Control wad. Again, a really good pattern, just off to the right. Maybe a touch low. The bead sight on the 12 gauge does not shoot where I want it to, so we're going to shoot at this dot on the larger piece of cardboard just to see what the pattern looks like. It's going to hit high, and I think it might hit high right. I don't know. We'll see. New packaging for the Nitro Turkey. Pattern's pretty darn good. Federal's got new packaging as well. This one's much more open. Much more open. Pretty good pattern. Centered high, just like the other two. A little something new here I wanted to try out from Fiocchi. Well, centered high, kind of open. That load's only 1 3/8 ounces, so this really is a long way for that load. So on those 12 gauge loads, I thought the Remington and the Winchester did the best. So I'm going to take a crack at that turkey target at 40 yards. And I'm going to have to aim about right at the very bottom of the paper. Put my bead, the top of my bead, right at the bottom of the paper. That's how far off that shotgun is. So here are my 12 gauge results. I don't know if this cardboard shows up very well, but I got these arranged as from best to worst, kind of as I see it. Now the first two, I think I could just flip a coin on, but the Remington Nitro. That's 40 yards, folks. That's no walk in the park for a 2 3/4 inch load that's only pushing 1.5 ounces. The Winchester Super X. And one that surprised me, I thought was going to do better, was the Federal Grand Slam. It's pretty wide open. It's not terrible for 40 yards, it's just not as good as those two. And the Fiocchi. I kind of had a feeling this one wasn't going to do that good. It only has 1 3/8 ounces in it, so it's already down 1/8 ounce over the other ones. And so now the two turkey targets. This is the Remington Nitro, and this is the Winchester Super X. I kind of could just flip a coin on these, just like I said on the cardboard target. So all of this was 40 yards, and this is kind of a better illustration of that. So that 12 gauge choke, I'm digging it. Imagine 2 3/4 inch loads with 1 3/4 ounce, 1 7/8 ounces, maybe even, I don't know, 2 ounce load. Winchester makes one, or they used to. I know I've shot that Black Diamond Strike in the 20 gauge a couple times before, so if I shot a load previously that I didn't shoot today, I'll include that in this video as well, and you'll already have seen it. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down there, and as always, thanks for watching.